Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. Mark D. Baldwin, and today I want to talk about Geoffrey Chaucer and his Canterbury Tales. Born in 1342, Geoffrey Chaucer, the author of the Canterbury Tales, was a multi-talented person. In his lifetime, he held quite a few positions, among them Member of Parliament, Controller of Customs, a construction supervisor, an intelligence officer, a diplomat, and a soldier. He lived through some very difficult times, such as the 100 Years' War, during which he was a prisoner for some time in France, the plague, the Peasants' Revolt of 1381, various challenges to the church, and the deposition of Richard II. As a member of the king's household, he was sent on diplomatic errands throughout Europe. From these travels, he gained the knowledge of society that enabled him to write the Canterbury Tales, which occupied about 15 years of his life and was unfinished at the time of his death in 1400. Because of his great distinction and place in the hearts of his countrymen, he was the first of those that are buried in what's known as Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey in London. If you ever visit London, you really have to check it out. It's a fantastic place where many famous people are buried. The plot premise of the Canterbury Tales is that a group of 30 people who meet at an inn decide to go together on a religious pilgrimage to the shrine of St. Thomas a Becket at Canterbury on the southern coast of England. Due to a challenge, each traveler is required to tell 4 stories, 2 on the way to Canterbury and 2 on the way back. The person who told the best stories would be the winner. The Canterbury Tales remained incomplete at Chaucer's death in 1400. Of the planned 120 tales, Chaucer was only able to work on approximately 90 of them before his death. The Canterbury Tales is recognized as the first book of poetry written in the English language. Before Chaucer's time, even poets who lived in England wrote in Italian or Latin, which meant that poetry was only understandable to people of the wealthy, educated class. English was considered low class and vulgar. To a great degree, then, Canterbury Tales helped make it a legitimate language to work in. Because of this work, all of the great writers who followed him owe Chaucer a debt of gratitude. It is because Chaucer wrote in English that there is a written record of the roots from which the modern language grew. Contemporary readers might find his words nearly as difficult to follow as a foreign language, but scholars are thankful for the chance to compare Middle English to the language as it is spoken now in order to better examine its growth. There have been several publications of the tales and quite a few translations. Some of the books were illustrated and some not. The original Canterbury Tales spread rapidly through England and became popular because primarily the characterizations of human nature are vivid and right on the money. The characters described in the prologue could be any number of people with which we are all familiar, with the possible exception of the way in which they are dressed. Note the highly critical satirical comments Chaucer makes on the corruption of the ostensibly religious folk. The Miller's Tale is one of the stories told to a group of travelers who are all competing for top tale honors. Miller, the narrator, tells of 3 men, a stupid husband, a slick boyfriend, and a jealous third, whose obsession with a young woman causes them to be victims of deception and ultimately leads to their great humiliation. I'll leave you to your reading now. If you have trouble with Chaucer's English, I'm sure you can find a modern translation, so to speak, somewhere on the internet without too much trouble. But please give the original a shot before doing so. Thanks for your attention, and I'll see you next time.